Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jess. This is not my normal style of filming a video at all. And actually this is my 8th time or 9th time filming this video because I keep messing it up. And I'm not planning on editing it. It's just an informal Q&A that I'm gonna put right on YouTube as soon as we finish. But it's so good to have you. If you're new here, hi, this isn't my normal style, and you know, in a week I'll post a very nice looking video on the real camera. I'm pregnant again. Also eating pickle popcorn from Trader Joe's. Have you guys had it? It's so good. I don't really know if it's so good if you're not pregnant. I've only ever had it pregnant. I had it this time last year because I was pregnant then too, different baby. And now I'm having it again and it is just really good. This video is an informal Q&A answering DMs, questions that people have sent me over the last month-ish. What I'll say is, I think I'm a little nervous posting this video, and it's just because with so much going on in the world, there's a lot of strong opinions about how people who have platforms online use their platform. And so on Instagram, I mentioned this yesterday, I'm trying to navigate like, when do I stay quiet so that other really important voices with a lot of authority on the topic of racism can be heard? And when do I speak up and share my life? And I think what I've come to is that I am able to use Instagram to reshare things and post things that I find meaningful and impactful and really informative when it comes to these major topics that we need to be thinking about. And then here on YouTube, I am going to continue speaking to the parents that are watching, parents of all colors. Initially it was moms, but now I'm finding that there are a lot of dads watching, moms to be, dads to be, just families that look a lot different from mine, and I love that. And what I know about parenting is that it can be a really lonely space. And add to that this pandemic, the quarantine life. I don't know what your world that you're in is looking like, but here in Los Angeles, we're still under a sort of shelter-in-place order where many businesses are closed, schools are closed, gyms are closed, salons are closed. We're here, and so take something like motherhood, which already can be very lonely and isolating, and then add social distancing and shelter in place. And then on top of that, the injustices that have taken place in our nation and the different kind of political views and how people are handling it and the stress of all of that, it's a lot. And so many of you are preparing to have a baby, you have new babies, some of you have young kids, and you're writing me privately with questions that are related to those things because you're really having to be parents on top of all of this and figure out, how do you raise your kids well? How do you keep your kids healthy? How do you do this while everything else is going on? And so I'm going to speak to that part of your life right now, and I just hope that you can hear my heart, that I also care about all of these other things that are happening outside of you and me and these kids that we're raising. And I don't only make motherhood content or parenting content, but right now the audience that I have and that has been growing over the last almost year, it really happened once Wilson was born, that this channel started to grow at a rapid pace. It's all parents, it's moms primarily and moms to be. And so that's why a lot of what I do here is focusing on that part of my life and part of your life. Okay, I'm gonna read some questions. We're gonna answer. My goal is not to have this be the longest video in the history of videos, especially because I'm doing no editing. So we'll see how this goes. 29. Okay. I'm using another phone. So you're being filmed on my phone. I'm answering questions on this old phone of Sean's, and then I have the vlog camera here, which is, I'm filming a day in the life video today. Also not my normal style, but people requested it, so that's what I'm doing. Anyway, okay. I'm a first-time mom, recently found your channel, 6 months pregnant, so helpful. This is actually a really nice message, but I'm skipping some of it. Oh, this is cute. She's just wondering where I got my yellow diaper bag. So if you watch some of the Baby 101 stuff, I talk about the yellow diaper bag that I have. It's actually from Urban Outfitters. My friend Becca, who is one of my very best friends, my housemate, she helps me with this channel, she bought the backpack for herself from Urban Outfitters, and I adopted it and use it all the time as a diaper bag. This one is really funny. It's, where does Becca shop? This question makes sense because a lot of the time if I ever look cute, I'm either wearing clothes from Becca's closet or from Nuuly, which I'll link the Nuuly thing. Nuuly's that thing, I've told some of you about it. You rent clothes every month. You pick out clothes and they send it to you, and then you send it back, and you're allowed to send it back dirty and wrinkled. And it's so great, especially if you're pregnant or postpartum or, you know, just in life. Anyway, I'll link, this is not an advertisement for them, but it kind of is. I'll put my link below because then you can get $10 off if you want to do it. Becca's clothes, where does she shop? Urban Outfitters, Madewell, she loves Madewell. What else does she like? She thrift shops. She's good at that. I'm not so good at that. Next question is, where does Wilson shop? Funny thing is, actually most of the cute stuff he has is from Becca because Becca's obsessed with little boy clothes. And so Becca has gotten him clothes from Zara Kids, Cotton On Kids, and sometimes Baby Gap, like their clearance stuff, or thrift stores. And a lot of times she makes him clothes, which I think someday she should sell as a business. They're so cute. Okay, not sure if it's possible, but could you explain how Eloise is so well spoken? Oh, he says that even in her baby videos, she is very smart. And it's true. Okay, as a parent, one of the things that you do is you kind of try to identify what are the gifts that your child has, just the ones that they're born with. And we've all noticed from Eloise that she is a communicator from birth. We were like, this girl, she started talking really early. She started speaking very kind of complex things at a young age. I remember when she was like 1.5 years, she came to me and she was like, Eloise want Zadetti. And I was like, I'm sorry, baby, I don't know what you're saying. And she's like, Eloise want Zadetti. I'm like, I don't know, babe, like, can you explain it in a different way that mommy can understand? And she looks at me really like intense. She's like, noodles and sauce. Noodles and sauce. And I was like, what? This girl, not only did she ask for spaghetti, but then she figured out another way to ask for it, and she wasn't even 2 yet. So one thing I'll say about Eloise is I just think she's a communicator. I think it's something that she has naturally. Both Sean and I love to write and speak, and our families do as well, and they're musical, and I'm not musical, but you know, we have family members who are musical, and so I think all of that is part of who she is. And then I also read to her a lot when she was a baby. I think I thought that I had to, so I read to her so much, even when she probably didn't care. I like reading, so that's fun. With Wilson, I have read to him almost not at all. I should read to him more. I read to him a book today. That was probably the 5th book I've ever read in his life, but anyway, so we'll see how he does. So far, so good. He's talking a bit, but I should probably do more. You can sing to your kids, read to your kids, talk to your kids. Also, when it's just you alone with the kid, you either talk to them or things are just pretty quiet. So I chose to talk because I like words and I didn't want to go crazy by myself. Okay, I'd love to know what it's like to be pregnant a 3rd time, things you're afraid of, things you're not afraid of anymore, about pregnancy and childbirth. Oof. Well, okay, I think because this baby was a total surprise bonus child that I wasn't expecting at all, I have a lot of fears. I've always had a lot of fears. Motherhood is something that scares me and I think it's great, and I just feel insecure about it. And so I think my fears related to this one are more like, can I handle 3? Am I gonna be good at this? What if I'm not? How am I gonna do it? Yeah, the baby will be worth it. That moment when you meet your child and just like I don't know, that's heaven. It's one of my favorite feelings in the whole world. So of all of my fears, I know in the core of who I am that I am so excited to meet this little person and love this little person and just adore who they are. I also will say that something that has lessened with each pregnancy is the fear of something going wrong with the baby health-wise. And it's not that I'm not afraid of it. I'm afraid of it. It's more like I have a better understanding of how out of my control it is. And so I don't want to waste my energy on it. And so I don't know, it's like a surrendering to God type thing of like, okay, I'll do what I can do to create a healthy child, but ultimately it's not in my hands how this baby is going to turn out. And so I pray, and I actually just try not to think about that because otherwise I make myself crazy with all of the what ifs. Childbirth. I am afraid of that. So here's why. I've had 2 babies, delivered them both vaginally without an epidural. Not because I'm really noble and I think natural birth is the way everyone should do it. It's really just I was afraid of the epidural. So that's what I did. And I do think it's cool. Like for me, I was like, can I squeeze out a baby? Let's try. First time with Eloise, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. And so I really wasn't afraid. While it was happening, I was like, holy, this is terrible. But I thought that I was past the time where I could ask for an epidural. So the thought didn't even cross my mind, like, should I ask for an epidural? With Wilson, I was a little more afraid because I remembered that it hurt so bad. But I also was like, it's okay. It's really cool after, and the recovery is pretty smooth. And if I've done it once, I can do it again. People told me second baby would be easier. Second baby was way harder for me. Labor was so much longer and happened in the middle of the night, so I didn't sleep through the night. And then the next morning when he was born, he was 9 pounds 4 ounces, which Eloise was 7 pounds 11 ounces. So 9 pound 4 ounces, just a big guy going out without any medication. And it was pretty freaky. And there was, you tear and things happen. And so I just did that. That was less than a year ago that I had him. And so childbirth now feels scary. And I'm wondering, should I get an epidural? I mean, you can give me your opinion, but I'll probably just weigh it as I feel. Like, if I have to guess what I'm going to do right now, I'll probably do it without an epidural, just because that's what I've done 2 times. But there is a part of me that's like, well, if it's my last baby, maybe I should try an epidural just to see what it's like, because people love it so much. And yeah, we'll see. I don't know. We'll find out. Breastfeeding from birth to 1 month. Any tips to get them on a good schedule? My baby's a week old. I feel like I feed them all the time. When do you start them on a schedule? Is it something they do themselves? Also, any tips for keeping your baby asleep longer at night than during the day? I know, a newborn, they really do feel like they eat all the time, and you're doing so good. With Eloise, I wasn't expecting that, so I remember that being a lot harder, where I was like, oh my gosh, everything's on a timer, and she's eating constantly, and it takes forever, and she wasn't taking a pacifier, and we weren't offering her a bottle. We didn't offer her a pacifier because we didn't want her to not breastfeed well. And it was very exhausting. When it comes to baby sleep, we treated it like jet lag. So the daytime, like overcoming jet lag, which we have a lot of experience with because we lived in Spain, so we would travel back and forth frequently. The way we did that with the newborn was we would keep the daytime really light, really bright, really noisy with music playing or talking happening. The baby will sleep through all of it, but it was to get the baby accustomed to what daytime is. And then nighttime we would keep super dark, super quiet, any diaper changes, nursing sessions, everything was like pretty much silent, to help them get used to that, and eventually their bodies just adjust. As far as schedule goes, in the beginning, I didn't do any sort of schedule. I just sort of followed cues from the baby. I would say in my experience with both of my kids, a schedule sort of naturally emerged, but I do Google it every month. Like, what's a sample schedule for a this month old? And then you read through, there's always many samples you can read. And I find one that sort of seems like it fits what I'm doing. And that just kind of helped me to have an idea generally of what to be aiming for. I don't follow any sort of schedule that I found online super strictly. You kind of adapt with your baby and you figure it out. And you can trust yourself a bit on that too. But use the internet for some help on that. Okay, let's see. I'd love to hear about balancing mom life and personal life, and does the anxiety ever go away? I feel like it's hard to even nap without worrying that the baby will stop breathing, and the car seat. Oh, don't even get me started. Okay, I know that, I know. The anxiety does go away, it does get better. And some of it is you get more sleep, and so naturally that helps chill you out a bit, and your hormones mellow out a bit if you have delivered this child. If you are the birth mother of the child, right, then your hormones might be making your life a bit harder as well. And all of that does get easier. What did you ask? Oh, balancing mom life and personal life. So I have a video about that, and I'm going to link it below because it is worth talking about longer than these few minutes that I have to talk about. It's just all about finding balance, and I really think if you are struggling with this, it's worth watching, and I promise it will be encouraging. It will not make you feel like you're failing or that you need to do more at something. In fact, it might help free you up to do less. So watch that, okay? Q&A section on natural birth. Could you talk about that? Yeah, I could talk about natural birth. I'll do it in a different video so it'll be longer. I'm just laughing because you heard the way my attitude is right now towards natural birth. I'm a little scared of it. Natural birth meaning she's talking about without an epidural. Births, they're natural. You're fine. Yeah, I'll talk about it. I also have a video called How to Have a Baby Without an Epidural. Made it after Eloise. You can go watch that if you want. But yeah, I'll talk about that in another one. How do you deal with toddler behavior and discipline? That also could probably be its own video, and Eloise is almost 5, so I'm a bit past the toddler discipline stage, but I will say that that is also something that's going to look specific to you and your child and their personality. Some things are going to work for one personality of child that will not work on another. I know this to be true really firsthand because my sister and I have daughters who are super close in age, but their personalities are so different from each other, and they are awesome. They're so fun, so like such good friends. They balance each other out in really special ways. But there are certain things that I can do with Eloise that she will respond to that if my sister were to try and do with Loie, it would not work. And in the same way, if I did what my sister does, Eloise would not respond in the same way. And so it's not going to look the same for everyone. It's going to be something that's very unique to you and your child. Generally speaking, consistency is really important. Boundaries are important. So not a lot of empty threats of like, if you do this, I will do this, and then you never follow through. Not the best idea. You're going to want to set boundaries and actually implement those things. And yeah, I can talk more about that in another one, but boundaries and knowing your child's way and trying different things, and you'll figure out like that, oh, that worked, oh, that didn't work. And it gets easier with time. Weird cravings you've had during pregnancy? Oh my gosh, probably. Well, I'm a way more fun eater when I'm pregnant. Like, I just eat random things all the time. I mean, pickles. I'm eating so many pickles. This is the only pregnancy that I've gone pickle crazy. Right now, I like to have pickle with cream cheese on it, and I like to wrap turkey breast. Oh, hi, baby. Oh my gosh, my baby's in the window. He doesn't see me. That was actually kind of freaky. Do you want to see it? Hold on. Look at this. Hi, boo-boos. Hi. He really doesn't see me, but that was, did you see me get scared? I forgot to tell you in another video, during my first trimester of pregnancy, I usually don't like coffee or vegetables, which is weird because in real life, I like coffee and vegetables very much, but first trimester, not so much. So I was doing green tea. Weird cravings though, I don't know. I just eat all kinds of random stuff and I eat tons of it. Okay, sorry guys if this is way too long. I like you, thanks for being here. Oh, have you done a video of sleep training? Yes, I have. I'll put that below, okay? How do you keep up your breast milk supply once your baby sleeps more? Well, in the beginning, you might have to pump because if you get engorged, it's really painful. But after that, I just sleep. And then trust that my ladies, they will work it out. And it's supply and demand. So if your baby is nursing more during the day, your body's going to produce more milk during the day. And if your baby's not nursing at night anymore, your body's going to simmer down on the nighttime milk. But like there have been random moments where Wilson's gotten sick at night and wanted to nurse, or teething at night and wanted to nurse. And some milk still comes, but mostly my milk comes during the day. Another person asked me, I can't find the question, but another person asked me, what about nursing while pregnant? Because I'm doing that right now. Did it affect my milk supply? I'm pretty sure my milk supply has gone down since I got pregnant. It feels like that. But at the same time, Wilson eats more regular food. And so I wonder if part of it is just that he's nursing less, and then part of it is me being pregnant. For Eloise, I nursed her until she was about, oh my gosh, almost 2 years old. We were traveling so much, and nursing her was a way to chill her out in new places and get her to fall asleep on an airplane. So I did not want to give up nursing for those reasons. By the time we stopped, I was good to stop. Some people are like, I didn't want to stop. I was going to miss it so much. not this girl. When I stopped, I was like, whoa, we're free. I love nursing in the sense that it's just beautiful and connecting and like just such a special experience, but I was going to stop. With Wilson, I'm going to stop this month. After he turns 1, we are all done because I want to break before the next baby, and he's a good eater, and I feel like he's just going to get down with having milk of some kind. We haven't decided what kind of milk, how it's going to go, but he likes bottles, so we're just going to put some milk in a bottle or in a cup, and that little boy is going to say goodbye to these so that he can have a little sibling that will say hello to them in a few months, and I won't feel tapped out when it comes to milk. Okay, I think that's all, guys. This is a 20-minute video. Thanks for watching. I like you. I want you to know that you are so precious, that if you are scared of parenting, if any of this is really hard for you, if you're feeling like you're doing it wrong, if you maybe you feel like you're doing it right and you're great and you're so excited, I don't know. I just want you to know you're doing great. And this is, it's a really special time of life, and it's really important, everything you're doing. And I know that having a young child can sometimes not be very gratifying because it's give, not a lot of receiving, and it can be challenging on relationships, and it can sometimes feel like you're just surviving. And I want to honor you for that. You're doing so good, and it's going to be so worth it, and you're just precious, and there's going to be a time of life that feels a lot easier than this, and you'll look back and be like, whoa, that felt like it went by really fast, even though while you're in it you're like, this feels like it's going by so slow and I must be aging a lot. And it's all very normal, and so you're doing really good, and I appreciate you being here, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Okay, thank you, bye.